A crazy politician by the name of George Santos has been lying his ass off up and down, lying about everything. This guy allegedly lied about his mother dying from an illness related to 9/11. That's the level of dishonesty. This is the craziest I've heard of all year. It happened in 2022, so I'll say all year even though we're in 2023. The article says this: following reports that Santos falsified major aspects of his resume, employment history, and even his own parents' and grandparents' biographies, the claims regarding his mother's death may constitute another entry in the future Long Island congressman's record of dishonesty. Asked by Rolling Stone for comment and for evidence to corroborate his claims, Santos declined to respond on the record or provide evidence. Despite Santos' assertion that his mother worked within the World Trade Center, Rolling Stone could find no employment records that would place Mistress DeVolder in or around the towers on September 11th. According to NBC News, DeVolder's only known employment was a Queens-based company that closed in 1994. A New York Times investigation found that DeVolder's main source of income was as a nurse and domestic worker. So these people decided to do research on this man, which makes me wonder, how many other politicians do they do background checks on? I know that Republican politicians, and this guy's a Republican, I know that Republican politicians are definitely held to a higher standard of scrutiny than Democratic politicians today because left-wing politics are much more mainstream and socially acceptable. This is the truth. I know a lot of people don't want to admit it, but it's true. I wonder how many other people are investigating. So the article also says this: victims advocacy organizations and legal firms managing the cases of those affected by the September 11th terrorist attacks say they have no record of Congressman-elect George Santos' mother, Fatima DeVolder, entering a victim's compensation claim or participating in any lawsuits related to the attacks. Santos has repeatedly claimed that his mother, who died of cancer in 2016, was a 9/11 survivor who was in her office in the South Tower on September 11, 2001, and passed away a few years later when she lost her battle to cancer. At one point, he claimed that both of his parents had been in the towers the day of the attack. In a 2021 tweet, Santos repeated the assertion, stating, 9/11 claimed my mother's life. Now, the fact that no records have been found of this man's mother allegedly dying as a result of some sort of illness brought about by 9/11. When you factor that in with all the other deception that's taken place with this guy, which I'm going to go into, it's scary. This is scary that a guy would lie about something so sacred as his mother's death. But considering the fact that this guy lies about everything else, it's hard to be surprised by that, but it is very easy to be disturbed by it. Now, CNN's K-File uncovered more falsehoods from Santos, including claims he was forced to leave a New York City private school when his family's real estate assets took a downturn, and stating he represented Goldman Sachs at a top financial conference where he berated the company for investing in renewables. Come to find out, Goldman Sachs claims he never worked for them. And how we know this is because Tulsi Gabbard, who did an episode of Tucker Carlson's show for Fox News with George Santos, informed George Santos of the fact that he was never employed by Goldman Sachs. Let's take a look.
Seriously, you've apologized, you said you've made mistakes, but you've outright lied. A lie is not an embellishment on a resume. You said you worked at Goldman Sachs and Citigroup, but they've said, we've got no record of this guy working for us. You've said you've gone to and graduated from these universities, but they've said, well, we've got no record of that. These are blatant lies, and it calls into question how your constituents and the American people can believe anything that you may say when you are standing on the floor of the House of Representatives, supposedly fighting for them.
So CNN also reviewed more instances of Santos providing additional false history of his family's background. Now he's really playing games because he's about to piss off the wrong people. In one interview, Santos said his mother's family's historical Jewish name, he's playing real serious games now. Jewish name was Zabrowski, and later appeared to operate a GoFundMe campaign for a pet charity, which he falsely claimed was a 501c3 nonprofit under that alias. Genealogists, that CNN, these niggas got genealogists on his ass. I've never ever heard of this thorough of an investigation. But considering he was lying about so much shit, I'm not surprised that CNN threw a few dollars at some genealogists and said, look to see if this motherfucker is lying even more. Find this shit. They got on his ass. Genealogists CNN previously spoke to found no evidence of Jewish or Ukrainian heritage in his family tree. Whew. This nigga is a damn liar. In another interview, he said his mother, whose family has lived in Brazil since the 1800s, was a white immigrant from Belgium. Santos's campaign did not respond to CNN's comment request. So this guy has played a lot of games. He's playing with Goldman Sachs. He played with Citigroup. He's playing with the Jews, which is crazy. And he's playing with 9/11. This is a crazy nigga. This is a very crazy individual. This nigga's crazy. So he lied about his family members dying in the Holocaust. He lied about being Jewish. According to the genealogists that have apparently done research on this man's family, his family has no connection to Europe within the last century. According to the genealogists, allegedly. So apparently this guy has allegedly, I'm going to attach that word to everything, allegedly been lying about his family dying in the Holocaust. They're saying his family isn't even Jewish, much less Ukrainian, which is crazy. This man claimed that he was working for Goldman Sachs and Citigroups, and they came out and said, we have no record of this nigga. The genealogist said, this nigga ain't even Jewish. The fucking investigator said that his family didn't even work in the towers on 9/11. What's wrong with this nigga, bro? I mean, look, you know, I like to consider myself politically, I like to consider myself someone who's not biased. I like to look at myself and think of myself as a guy who's very level-headed, very balanced. I'm not very, very pro-right or pro-left. I'm very in the middle. This guy, regardless of his political affiliations, he is a Republican. Regardless of his political affiliations, this guy is a fucking train wreck. I don't know what's wrong with this nigga. Is it the social media era? What is it? What is it that possesses a man to lie on this level? Because you gotta be a bold motherfucker to lie about your family being Jewish, being caught up in the Holocaust, dying from an illness caused by 9/11. Like, what's going on with this guy? And he sits there on his interview with Tulsi Gabbard and he's like, oh, well, you know, I've made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. The only difference is I'm the one who has to face them on national television. Well, you know, we all lie. The difference between the public and you is you ran for Congress. You did that. You did that. You asked the American people of your district to vote for you to represent them in Long Island. You did that. You did that. You put yourself out there. You became a public figure. You became a representative of the people in your area, and you lied about damn near everything. So you can sit there and talk about all the mistakes that we all make as people, but dude, you've made quite the mistake here, while simultaneously trying to be an elected official responsible for the futures of your community. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. There's no excuse here. There is no, I'm like everyone else. No, you're not. You made a decision to become a very, very, very responsible person. You put a lot of responsibility on yourself by running for office. You have to understand that the things that you do and the things that you say have a higher, the stakes are raised. The stakes are higher as a result of the fact that you've ran for office. You ran for Congress. The stakes are raised. So for him to sit there and try to equate his lies with embellishment, or to equate his lies with the little white lies we tell, we plebeians, we normal citizens tell, is absolutely ridiculous. This guy's crazy. This guy's crazy. He tried to shift it like, oh, you know, the Democrats lie all the time too. Bro, you're the only one out of everyone that's lied to this extent. Elizabeth Warren lied about the whole Native American shit. Everybody was kind of able, we were kind of, I personally haven't forgiven that because that's just disturbing. You know, Blumenthal, I believe, lied about like serving in Vietnam or something like that. You know, there have been a few offhanded lies, but this is extreme. This is just extreme. Like the level, like this is a little too extreme. The level of callousness you have to have in your heart to lie about these kind of topics and to just throw it out there in the hopes of getting elected. I really don't believe that any of these lies truly aided in him being elected in any capacity. I truly believe that he would have been a lot better off not saying any of this at all. Truthfully, I think he would have been better off not saying shit. I don't think any of these lies got him elected, but they sure as hell have fucked everything up for him. Even if somehow he is welcomed into Congress, he's not going to win the next election. I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it. His political career is done. Every debate he has in the future will be absolutely impossible to win. Every single debate. All they're going to do is bring up, so remember when you lied about this? Do you? Because we do, in case you don't. Oh, would you like to welcome? We welcome the facts. Bring the facts. Prove us wrong. He won't be able to. He won't be able to. He's fucked. His career is over. And it begs a question. You know, if you want to be a politician, obviously lying is a part of the game, but I think he took that a little too seriously, me personally. That's just my opinion. I think he took it a little too seriously. You can't really, in your right mind, genuinely, truly believe that lying about those kind of topics would somehow not tank your entire political career forever. Any dreams of president, dead. Any dreams of governor, dead. Anything else, even the position of senator, which he tried to run for, dead. Done. I don't understand, I don't understand where in the calculations did he conclude that this was good for his career? I'm struggling to understand. Truthfully. I don't get it. Truthfully, I don't get it. But, you know, it is what it is. The guy's fucking crazy. And unfortunately, this is what we have going on in politics. But at the same time, though, this was pretty entertaining. It was pretty entertaining if I do say so myself. So, it is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.